Welcome back to another video, and in this video we will talk about a general guide on how your pre-physician assistant journey should look like. So I'll just tell you about a little bit of my personal experience while I am sharing some tips about the pre-physician assistant journey. First, let's tackle the academic experience. So when you are going through your college, undergraduate school, it doesn't matter what major you choose. It actually doesn't matter. The thing that you want to make sure that you are taking the prerequisite courses that are required for PA school. So I'll just give you a general rundown on what these courses are, because I know the many schools will vary on their prerequisite requirement. Like, there's so much variation, but some courses are just basic and similar across all schools. And so here's a general list. Okay, you have Anatomy and Physiology 1 and Anatomy and Physiology 2 with labs. Some schools will not require labs, but so this is where variation comes in. It's just better to take labs, because my school where I went to undergraduate, it was a concurrent requirement. We had to take anatomy and physiology together. Okay, so Anatomy and Physiology 1 and 2 with labs. Second requirement is obviously general biology plus lab, parts 1 and 2. So we have general biology 1 and 2 plus labs, and Anatomy and Physiology 1 and 2 plus labs. Chemistry, okay, 1 and 2 plus lab. Now this is where the next few courses, that's where there's a variation. Some schools require genetics, some don't. I just took genetics just because if you are like a science major, it wouldn't hurt to take genetics. So genetics will be our number 4 or number 3. And then next thing is microbiology plus lab. Just for all these courses, it's just better to take every course with lab, so that when you're sitting to do your PA school research, it's not like one school that you like requires lab, the other school that you also like requires or doesn't require lab. So there are a lot of differences across PA schools. So that's why I took every course with lab, just to be safe when I'm applying. And then other courses I have seen is some schools will require organic chemistry, but I just took organic. I gained a biochemistry minor, so I had to take organic chemistry. But it's just better to take those upper level chemistry courses, just because some schools will require it. So this is the general rundown of the courses that will be required as a prerequisite. Next thing is your patient care and healthcare experience. This is where you get confused. This is where I got confused. This is where I had the most difficult time. So patient care technique or patient care experience is an experience that is regarded as spending time with a patient or patients and intervening in the healthcare process. So I am a nursing assistant right now, and how am I fulfilling this definition? I'll just tell you what I do. I'll go in to work, and basically we do vitals so it depends on the frequency of the order that the physician or the PA provides. And so it's generally every 4 hours or every 8 hours. So you do vitals, and you also do blood sugars. So you're playing an important role in this healthcare process. By taking these objective measures of health, blood pressure, glucose, temperature, etc., you are playing a part in this healthcare process. So you have to be doing that in order to qualify as a patient caretaker, and also you have to count those hours at the end, which is not hard. Every hospital has their own site. You can check your hours, and so that's not hard. And then healthcare experience could be anything that is non-patient related, but also it's playing an important part in the healthcare system. And so one of my examples is patient transporting. I did patient transporting for about 9 months, and it was playing a part in healthcare process, transferring patients in the hospital from one section of the hospital to the other. You are kind of in this healthcare process. And so that's the difference between patient care experience and patient healthcare experience. If I had to go back in time, I would just start with my nursing assistant experience, and I would just start from when I was a freshman, or before even like the summer after I graduated from high school. I would start as a nursing assistant, and I would accumulate hours over the 4 years or 3 years, right? Because you apply in your junior year traditionally if you're not taking a gap year. Next thing you need is letters of evaluation. Now these are really important. Letters of evaluation should actually come from your professors, but also one PA. It's just beneficial because some schools I've seen not specifically ask for an evaluation from a PA, but I would say if you have shadowing experience with a PA, you should definitely get an evaluation from that PA. And then professors is easy because you're going through this undergraduate experience. You obviously will make connections throughout this, and they will write a nice letter for you. So yeah, one thing you have to be sure about is where you're shadowing, and just be sure that you will have that evaluation from a PA. Transitioning on to shadowing experience. Shadowing experience is really important. It's one of the most highly important things that you could not only have for your application and as a pre-PA student, but also for your understanding of the pre-PA or your understanding of your physician assistant profession. And it's really important to have shadowing experience. I'll just tell you how I got my shadowing experience. When I worked as a patient transport, I already had proper documents that the hospital required. And so I was able to simply ask PAs around the hospital if I'm allowed to shadow you. And if they agree to this, most likely they will, because they won't refuse. All the PAs, everyone in the hospital, like, it's just so nice that these PAs want to help these pre-PA students to get on track with their physician assistant journey. And so it's really nice to just contact, cold call, or whatever it is. Even LinkedIn is a great service. LinkedIn, emails, just physically going up. I just said, I think I just messaged the PA I shadowed on LinkedIn. And then this other, my second shadowing experience, it was just saying, hey, I'm a patient transporter. My name is Harsh. I'm interested in becoming a physician assistant, and I would love to go around with you and shadow you, so that I could have a better understanding of the physician assistant profession. That's how, so professional, so neat, and it just works. If you just go up, say hi, introduce yourself, name your title. Hey, I'm a nursing assistant, or I'm a patient transporter at here. Would you be able to help me out? And they will say yes. Why wouldn't they say no? Like, it's just, if you have that professional voice, if you have that dedication, no one will say no. And then last thing is volunteer experience. Some volunteer experience is really beneficial. Now, this volunteer experience is probably the easiest thing you could ever have in your application, because it's just easy. During your undergrad, you could really use university's resources to gain volunteering experience. Lastly, let's just talk about the timeline. So if you are a junior, you'll have to apply around the time when your junior year is ending, so that you can start immediately after you graduate from college. Now, if you apply as a senior in college, you will have to have one gap year, because of how long the cycle takes. So let me just tell you a little bit about the cycle. It starts every time at the end of April, and then ends, depending on schools, obviously, it ends anywhere from September or even August to far out, even extending to next year, the following year. And so it's a really, the range is long. Obviously depends on the PA school you're applying to. So it's obviously really understandable to apply as early as possible. So if you have to just understand that if you apply at the end of your senior year, you have to have a gap year. And generally, if you are a non-traditional student, so if you apply, like let's say I applied today, I won't, if I get it, and if I get accepted to a PA school, I won't start until 2023. So that's how the process is. That's how long the process is. So that's the cycle. Now, I want to end this video with what I'm currently doing right now. Last week, I applied to PA schools, and it was really stressful. I had my personal statement ready. I had my evaluations ready. I had my transcripts ready, and it was just to get everything prepared. It was really stressful. And now it will be supplemental applications, and then hopefully there will be interviews in the coming fall. I still have 2 prerequisites left. So that's the dark side of this. That if you fail to have prerequisites completed at the time of application, some schools will allow you to complete prerequisites after you apply. However, it's just, if I had to again go back, I would obviously take these classes that I am going to take in the fall during my undergrad. And so it was a little stressful, but at the end, it's always worth it. It's every process, every journey, I feel like, is just always worth it. All ups and downs are just thrilling and challenging. That's how I look at it. And so, yes, when I applied last week, it was late in the application cycle. It was June. It opens up at the end of April, and yes, I applied in June, so it's like 1 whole month and a few extra days. But I made my mind, if I don't get in this cycle, I will apply the next cycle. So hopefully next week I'll have time to go through my application. I'll show you. And so I think next week should be the time where my CASPA, or the application service where you apply to PA schools, gets verified, hopefully. And so I can show you all the parts of the application, my GPA, classes I've taken, my degree, my minors, and fun stuff. So yeah, thank you for watching this video. I hope this was really helpful. And yes, I will keep uploading these informational videos so that anyone who is trying to become a PA could really take these advice and apply it before it's too late, because I hope people who are in undergrad really do their own research prior, even years prior to their applying, because it's at the end it's really stressful, and if you procrastinate you will stress out. And it also kind of you also kind of become like a little demotivated with the process. But it's just having faith in your journey, because you have worked hard all throughout your undergrad just for becoming a PA, and so you have to just have faith on the journey that you're about to go into. And so that's what I try to do, keep faith. And yeah, so thanks for watching, and I hope to catch you in next pre-physician assistant videos. Thank you.